Well, I've uploaded a video where I say, okay, techniques, no techniques, in order to um, pick up or get the heart of somebody. But there's another consideration. Regardless of calling them techniques or tactics, tricks, uh, whatever we do, uh, when you call techniques within a contrived way, we're not ourselves. We wouldn't do what we normally do unless we normally internalize these techniques. And that's another consideration to do, to something to take into account. But one thing is for sure: just do whatever we do. We can speak about love, we can speak about interest, our work, whatever we do that we really like and it's important to us, to do our utmost, or not to leave any leaf unturned. That's what we need to do if we don't want to have regrets. It's worse to have regrets than to accept, let's say, not failure as a negative connotation, not to have succeeded. If you do whatever you can possibly do, you can accept failure. You don't accept failure when failure means you failed to do whatever you could possibly do. So why? Obviously, not everything we do is so important to us, so we do whatever we can to achieve. But there are things there are on our minds, and they are very important. One of the most important things is love. I spoke about, but can be our passion for music, or I don't know, moving to another country, uh, getting your work you like, or getting your degree, whatever it's important to you. Set your priorities. That's very important. You cannot achieve everything. It doesn't mean that you can have a love and a job, but there are moments in life that say, what is my priority? For a while I can set these other things aside and go for what I really want. So ask yourself, what do I really want? What do you really want? And for example, I spoke about this situation. Well, the only way for me to get out of this kind of a crush love, I don't know, is getting to the bottom of it, which is I just stepped back for some days because I was not sure about myself. And in 2-3 days time I will see if my interest wanes or grows. Why did I say wine? Subconsciously. Okay, alcohol. Well, now and then you can even have a drink more and forget. But I don't drink much, but once a month. And when you have set your priorities straight, this is what I want to do, and this is my course of action. Now with the internet you can get a lot of data, and then try to make sense of all these things and say, okay, first of all, one thing I realized: you prepare yourself for the worst or for the best, but sometimes reality escapes you. Really escapes you. I mean, it's never the way you fantasize. Mixed messages, unimaginable situations. I asked this girl. She looked mad at me. She works in a supermarket, and then I was upset. Really, I didn't know what to do. And so I went back. I mustered my courage, or she would think I'm crazy. I'm not getting back immediately. She will never, and asked, because if she had anything against me. She said no, quite absolutely not. Okay, I didn't insist. Then I played it cool and said, did you watch my Facebook page? I gave her my name. Like, she said, no, I didn't have the time. Oh, okay. And then a whole world of thoughts in my mind. Then I decided, well, whatever I think, it can be she's not interested in me at all. That's very likely. But she maybe she watched and she didn't like what she saw, but she works there and she doesn't want to be unpleasant. I don't know. Oh, well, that's not a good sign, but that's when you have an hindrance, an obstacle. Ask yourself, okay, is this obstacle so strong that I give up? Should I be realistic, or should I be on the my will is powerful more than reality? So when to give up and when to persist? Well, I don't want to give up at the first bump on the road. That's not. But I have to take into account that she's not into me at all. And if she is, well, she's making good job of hiding it. So, well, that's not a good sign. That's not even a bad sign. I mean, she didn't come across as, I know your game, I don't like you, I don't want to be rude, but I'm firm, I will not smile you back, or because I had mixed messages. So that can be in love or for other things. Well, obviously, however, you read a lot of things, but I don't believe you can necessarily make somebody love you. And at the end of the day, what's the purpose of making somebody love you? I mean, you are what you are, and if you hide what you are in order to get somebody, one day or the other you will come back to be what you are. So actually you can smooth some aspect of your character, but you cannot become what you're not. That for people, getting other people. But if you think that the situation, the other person really matches you, for some reason there's a problem, okay, you overcome the problem, but you have to be really convinced, persuaded that you're not forcing things. That's what you want, and you can see through things, and you know better, and you know that this work, this woman, the way you see it, are good for you. And you do whatever you want to do, whatever it takes to achieve a result. Obviously, there's a point where you have exhausted every course of action and you need to give up. But that's the last thing to do. Or when you come to that point, even if you give up, you don't really feel like a failure. Quite the opposite. You fought till the bitter end. You fought till the end. You didn't win, but you were a good fighter. That's good. You were a good fighter. That's the fight, the struggle to achieve something. And you know what? If you have this attitude, most of the times, you achieve what you want. This is not positive thinking. I mean, you're realistic. You want to think that you have a fighting chance. You know, it's not wanting to be, when I'm 51, to run fast as when I was 21. That would be stupid. I can't run fast as 21 who's not well trained. Okay, it's not in good shape. But generally speaking, I want to become the best in my age range. Okay, that's achievable. I want to become a quite good ukulele player, considering I started 1 year ago. I want to do to progress very fast as anyone can, devoting a lot of time to that I can achieve. I cannot be in 2 years' time as good as people have been playing for 10, 12 years. That would be foolish and stupid. So we can have very, very high goals and aims, but never so high that it would be impossible for us anyway to achieve them. So like we set our standards high, but we need to work a lot and ask yourself, do I want that much? Then I can take a toll on my free time and other things in order to achieve that. Okay, ask yourself, at the end of the day, don't ruin other things if the thing you want to achieve is not what you really want. Don't do things to show yourself you can achieve one thing if this is not the real thing that you want. Okay, that's you need it, something you really like. You take pleasure also in the process of learning that. So what happened with this girl? I have doubts. I mean, I was not sure. I'm still not sure how much of my liking her is due to that I can see through it as something in common, or because she smiled at me, and this period maybe I'm vulnerable to this kind of messages, and I would have fallen for everybody doing that to me, smiling me in in a way that implies something more. So when you take some time off from your passion, the person you like, you see if time make your heart grow fonder, or far from your eyes, far from your heart. That's important. So it's very important to know what we want, knowing that what we want can be in a way or another achievable. If I would like, yes, to fly with nothing, just like a bird, it will be achievable in a dream, not in real life, or in outer space with no gravity, but that's not achievable. Other things that sometimes helps me is fantasizing the situation you're in. as in a very fantasizing doesn't mean, something strange, but put yourself in that situation in your mind before you've been there, before you go there. Imagine what can happen, all these things, and you live. You can imagine a true failure. Can you imagine the person telling you, what do you want? You're a freak, you're after me, you're much older, what do you want? Well, this is a worst case scenario. You imagine that? It takes guts also to accept that without, going away with your tail between your legs. No. You accept that. You mean, okay, you can have a good retort, reply, using, being funny. You can even turn a table on her, make the situation, you be a winner. She could come across like a bad person. Well, and at the end of the day, I reply, tell another time, I'll tell you that another time. The reality is sometimes different from what we imagine, but helping, imagining, even daydreaming, or when you are in bed, try to think that will help you a lot. That's I started from love, other interests, doing what we need to do, take it as a struggle, enjoying the process, embracing the challenge, go to the bitter end, and when we know we've done everything we could possibly do, not achieving our goal, it's not a failure. It's just not the success we expected. We have to act like everything depends on us, but at the end of the day, it's not like this. We know sometimes not everything depends on us. But since these things that don't depend on us, we cannot, just because they don't depend on us, do anything about them. We have to act on the things that depend on us. We've been doing all we can possibly do. We put our best foot forward. Okay, I repeat, we can accept what happened, and we will not see as a failure. Quite the opposite. This attitude, in the long run, generally speaking, will be successful. It would be very easy if we started something knowing we will succeed, or will be very boring. That's the beauty of things, not knowing. A lot of interest we have for things is that it depends on us. In a way, we have to do what we have to do, but the outcome is not granted. This is part of our nature. That's why people gamble. That's why people play. It's our human nature. If we knew everything from the beginning, it wouldn't be fun. So take things like this and do everything not to fail, but take that failure is part of the game. Well, that was a very, I think I do that more for myself. These are things that you should know, and in a way they are platitudes, but many platitudes are just the reality and things that people don't do but they know they should do. So it's just a good reminder of thanks. Goodbye.